What's going on, YouTube? I am back with a pretty substantial update. Check it out after this intro. So Avatar is back in a big way. We have content coming from this year, next year, 2024, 2025, and 2026. Now, of course, we already knew about the new novel that we're getting from the author F.C. Yee, who did the Kyoshi novels and who is now doing Dawn of Yang Chen. That's what we're gonna get already. We talked about that already in this video. You can check it out here. And of course, we all know about the Netflix live action adaptation, which officially ended its principal photography today. And that one is likely going to be out in late 2022, but more likely it's going to be early 2023, especially now when Netflix really needs the boost up. But the big announcement that's happening is that we have confirmation, well, rumored confirmation, I should say, from AvatarNews that we're gonna get a Kyoshi movie in 2024, a Zuko movie in 2025, and a Korra movie in 2026. Now let's go ahead and speculate on why this is, what they'll be, and how this information is coming about in the first place. So first off, the Kyoshi movie, which at first was deemed as being the prequel story, and I'm saying prequel in quotes, but we didn't actually know which character it would be. Previously, I thought it would be really cool if we saw the second Avatar, the one that came right after Wand, but Kyoshi is dope too, and I personally hope it's not a direct adaptation of the books. Kyoshi has a long life, and I would like to see more of her progress as a young adult or in her adult years before Chen the Conqueror came about. But the reason why this is even coming up, the reason why we think there might be a Kyoshi movie is because AvatarNews says that they've cross-referenced several sources that they have that are, can't be disclosed, but they are very trustworthy. We've seen AvatarNews have accuracy in the 95% percentile. But apparently there was a 2022 Annecy International Animation Film Festival that's been going on for the last few days, and there was a private meeting in which reporters and journalists were shown an image, a single image of a fortress, and that fortress seems to belong to what we know as General Fong, who shows up in Avatar: The Last Airbender Book 2 Earth. Now, of course, this wouldn't be the General Fong that we know, as this would be 200 years before, no, really 300 years before he would even show up, but it could be maybe a long line of generals, maybe it could be the Fong family that still lives there, but it has something to do with Earth itself. And I've really been interested to see what it is that Kyoshi does as an avatar day to day. We've seen the rise of Kyoshi, but we haven't really seen what she really is as an avatar. We know that people are afraid of her. She's kind of like a Batman-esque avatar, going for vengeance and stuff like that. But we haven't really seen really what she does day to day in a visual way, especially. And I really do want to see that. And I wonder what this story will come about. So next up, we have a full confirmation on this one already, but there is going to be a Zuko movie that is coming out, but now we know that it's possibly coming out in 2025. We don't know anything about the storyline or anything like that, but we do know that it's going to take place while he is a Fire Lord after the events of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I hope to see that it's a lot of interaction with Republic City, maybe seeing a little bit more of what the comic books went into with the idea of the Earth and Fire Nation colonies becoming like this integrated thing, and that neither of them feel detached from the other. They feel like they're this new culture, which again sort of manifests itself within Republic City. But what I really want to see most from this is more interaction with Azula. I think Azula coming into this, and it could be the reason why we haven't seen her in the comics or any of the stories that we've had recently, and it could be that they were holding back because they knew they wanted to tell this story, whether it was an animated series or a movie, in this case a movie. And I always thought that I'm not a fan of Azula getting a redemption arc, but I really like the idea of Zuko having a Joker-like character. And what do I mean by that? So Joker kind of keeps Batman on his toes in terms of the crime fighting and stuff like that. There are certain nemesis antagonists that make the hero better. And I think that's the best place that Azula can be. And if we see that she is the main antagonist of this work and that she's making Zuko grow, then that's awesome. And there's also a possibility that, Azula can bite it in this movie because, as we know, she does not show up in Legend of Korra, so we can see what happened to her or possibly her demise in a Zuko movie. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna get a Korra movie in 2026. Now, right now, it's not at all confirmed or even rumored if Avatar Korra herself will be the main character, but we do know that it will be set in her time period. And for me, what I would like to see a lot is them sort of rectifying Korra's Sami, because it did feel very rushed at the end of the series, and they could definitely, you know, tidy that up a little bit better and a little bit more by having that relationship in the forefront of this movie. The storyline doesn't necessarily have to be about the relationship necessarily, but we can at least see a visual outlook of that, and also just seeing where the world is going to after, you know, all the Korra events and now all the integration with the spirits and all that. However, I will say a Korra movie is the one that I'm least interested in, because there isn't much in that storyline or that time period that interests me. I can't think of anything on the top of my head what would really intrigue me about that time period in particular. But let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think a movie in the Korra period should be about? Now, AvatarNews wanted to make this very clear that this is only a snapshot of the plans for Avatar Studios. None of this is officially announced. This is just rumors at this point. But they are very good rumors, because it means that we're getting loads of content in the very near future for Avatar. These things can change, as we've seen with Star Wars, how we had all these different kinds of things. Like, for example, the Obi-Wan TV show that's currently out was originally supposed to be a movie that got switched around. Things like that might happen between, you know, today and going forward. But at this time, this is kind of the outlook of what we have for Avatar. We have the new novel series, we have the Kyoshi movie, Zuko movie, Korra movie, and the live action adaptation on Netflix. So that's it. What do you guys think? What are you most excited for from this announcement? What kind of storylines do you want to see from these characters and from these time periods? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends.